break into the environmental sector and you haven't really got a clue how to do it. Don't worry, 3 months ago that was me too. I'm still on that journey, but by the end of this video, whether you want to work for a charity, for an environmental consultancy, whether you want to be an ecologist, get into being a ranger in land management, or whether you want to work for a government body, there should be some great ideas for you to be doing at home right now to support your professional development and crucially to make you stand out from the crowded world of other applicants and secure your dream position. Watch on for more. Here's my first tip. Create yourself a professional development log. Go on job listing sites, generic ones like Reed and Indeed, but also more specific ones to the sector like environment job and countryside jobs. Find jobs that interest you. It doesn't matter what sector it's in, but crucially read that job specification, read the person specification, the essential requirements, lift those out, put them onto your spreadsheet and make sure that those are your aims, those are your goals. Work through them. Some of them are really easy to complete, some of them much more difficult like a degree, but at least then you've got an absolute aim of what you need to be doing, what experience you need to be gaining, and you know that you can be working towards all of the requirements that are listed in that job. To name but a few things that they might be asking for, they might be asking for up-to-date knowledge of environmental policy, survey experience, experience securing funding, GIS knowledge, data analysis skills, a really broad range of things depending on what sector you're going into. So a few of those things I've just listed might seem a little bit daunting, but think about what you're doing at the moment, your current job, if you can work those in there at the moment. For instance, a lot of jobs you could potentially do something with data, some data analysis skills, even just building up your Excel skills will stand you in good stead. The other thing which conjures to mind these enormous government contracts is experience securing funding. So you're thinking, as I was, these enormous £10 million grants to reforest half of the UK. Think about what you can do nearer to you that will still be securing funding. Case in point, I lobbied the local council recently for a small amount of funding, we're talking hundreds of pounds, to plant out a load of planters on the windowsills of an old industrial building nearby that would be planted with really nectar-rich plant species that would attract bees, butterflies, other invertebrates. It's a really small thing, it's still ongoing. But it's proof that you can show an employer that, look, I'm engaged, I'm thinking of different ways that I can satisfy these requirements, and it might just give you the lead and the edge over another applicant. So my second tip is this: get volunteering. This is not so easy in the current climate, I understand. I've been trying to get physical, hands-on volunteering opportunities, and unfortunately, pretty much every organisation that I can think of has suspended them for the moment. But it does not mean that you can't be getting experience. Call these people still. Call the wildlife trusts, call the National Trust, call your local biological and geological records society, call environmental consultancies, email them, whatever interests you and whatever organisation that you think you should be working towards. You would be amazed how keen they are to help people who are genuinely interested. Once we are through COVID, practical hands-on work experience is listed in so many of these job listings, especially for things where you're doing land management stuff, ranger things, anything where you're getting out and about. Make sure that you're going out, getting maybe survey experience, even things like beach clear-ups would be really good in the summer. The Canal and River Trusts do a lot of things around, it can be as simple as litter picking in the river. Anything that shows that you're willing to get out there, get your hands dirty, learn some new skills, your employers will really be impressed by that. The other thing to look out for is that a lot of these organisations currently are doing free Zoom lectures that you can attend. If they're a charity group, you should donate. For instance, I attended one with the Nottinghamshire Bat Group the other day that was really interesting about bat biology, about bat care and rehabilitation. Which I thought the content for something that was free was incredible. It went on for about 3 hours. So go on Facebook, a lot of these events are listed there. Look at your local wildlife trust, look at some of those other groups that I already mentioned, and you would be amazed at people like the RSPB as well that I didn't mention before. And there are so many lectures going on at the moment where you can build your knowledge, you can engage with in the chat with other people who are interested, and you can even engage with the people in those organisations who, when it comes to getting some volunteer work later down the line, next summer maybe, will potentially remember your name, and you'll have forged a relationship with them already. So on the subject of lectures and learning, see what you can work into it may be that you're working full-time and you can't support this, but if you're a current student or you're thinking of going to university, then obviously try and find a course that's suited to you. I'm currently doing an environmental science degree with the Open University. I'm doing that alongside doing normal work. I'll be doing it part-time. But if you're 17, 18, you're going to university for the first time, choose your course carefully. Go for something like environmental science, environmental management, international policy, social sciences, geography, biology, whatever interests you but is related to the field. And if you are not in that position, if you're an older student like me, or you're someone who is older and not able to learn in that sort of capacity again, go to your local charity shop. You would be amazed how many of these are lying around. Old textbooks for AS level qualifications, A level qualifications, even some things for degrees. Go on eBay, find old books and study. Just because you're not on an accredited degree course does not mean that you can't learn the content and that you can't show in-depth knowledge of that content when you're in front of someone who works in the sector. On the subject of the Open University, they have a fantastic section of their website called Open Learn, whereby hundreds of their modules and sections of their courses they've put online for free. They range from little 1 or 2 hour courses on small subjects right the way up to things that will take you days to complete. The quality of the writing is really good. You get a certificate of completion at the end, and again, it's building your knowledge, just showing that you've got a real interest and a passion in the subject, and that you're willing to go above and beyond to learn more and more and widen your knowledge. Not everything you're reading has to be an academic text, of course, so reading for pleasure is fantastic as well, and if you are doing that, one book that I would absolutely recommend that I have just finished is this, Wilding by Isabella Tree. It was an enormously popular book last year, all about the rewilding movement, probably the first major rewilding project in the UK, down on the Knepp estate in East Sussex. And yeah, if you're interested in rewilding and a return to nature, I would really highly recommend that. Isabella Tree explains really quite complicated concepts in a really concise and engaging and approachable manner. Buy it. My final tip is probably the most fun one, and it's something that if you have an interest in the field, you're probably doing already. It's to get out and go on nature walks, but don't just walk through the nature soaking it in. Also be taking photographs. I bought a old DSLR camera recently to attempt to upgrade my photography skills, which were lacking after years of misuse. This is just an old Nikon D3000, which you can pick up quite cheaply online. Luckily, I had someone who could lend me a telescopic lens. If you don't, again, non-branded versions can be picked up for probably just over £100. And get used to taking notes in the field, keep a field diary, make notes of the species that you're finding, or if you don't know what they are, make notes of what they look like and their features. Get yourself a few really good guidebooks, one on birds, one on fungi, one on invertebrates, one on plants, and one on mammals, and see what you can find out there. I think you'd be amazed, even if you live in the middle of a city, what you can find on your doorstep. So that's the end of my hot take on the skills you can be furnishing yourself with to support your movement into a professional career in the environmental sector. It's very much not an exhaustive list, so if you think of anything else, please comment. If you found it useful, remember to like and subscribe to this video, and most importantly, don't lose the faith. It's a marathon, not a sprint, and you will get there. I'll see you next time. Bye.